Hello everyone, welcome to Maths Misfit, and this is Meena teacher here. Now today we'll be doing the second part of simple interest. The first part, if you have not seen it, the link I have put in the description box. So please go through the first part thoroughly. Okay? What we'll be doing are some higher level problems which are going to be useful for all your competitive exams. Now, some of these problems are a little tricky, but no worries. You can go through it and build up your confidence by solving these problems again. The first one, Asha invests rupees X for 2 years at simple interest. The first year, the rate is 10% per annum, and the second, the rate is 15% per annum. The amount received after 2 years is 20,240. Then find X. So now we have got two different rates of interest. So there are two methods how we can do it. In fact, there are three, but I'll show you two methods. So let's take the first rate as 10%. So this comes out to be 1 upon 10. The second rate is 15%. This comes out to be 3 upon 20. Now for 2 years. So for 2 years, the total would be 1 upon 10 plus 3 upon 20, which if you take the LCM would come out to be 5 upon 20. Now you know what we did in the first video. You can take the ratio. So what I have here now, 5 is going to be the interest and 20 is going to be the principal. So obviously from here the amount is going to be, now why am I taking the amount? Because in the sum we are given this amount. Now you can have your two columns. If the amount is 25, what I need to find is X. X is nothing but the principal. So the principal is 20. Amount is so much. How much is this? So what I get after simplification is 4 into 4048, and this is nothing but 16,192. Even if you just multiply the last digits, 8 fours are 32, and you'll see your options. The option over here is going to be the B option. Now this was one method by which we did it. So let's do it by another method. 10% in the first year, 15% in the next year. Okay, so how much is the total? The total interest is going to be 25. That is 25%. Now you can find if the principal is 100, the amount here is going to be 125. So again, like this case, we can get it. Amount is 125, principal is 100. So if the amount is 20,240, how much is this? This would come to the same answer. and you'll see we get the same thing as the first case. So you have two options. Now it is up to you. You can do it by any method. Simple interest for 3 years at 12.5% per annum is 3,500 less than the principal. Okay, so now this is a little bit of a different sum. So we have got 12.5 as the rate given here. Okay, now I can convert this. This is going to be 1 upon 8. Now how do I get that 1 upon 8? Which I have already done in my video of profit and loss. Okay, now this is for 1 year. And we have got 3 years. So for 3 years, it's going to be 3 upon 8. As I explained in the first video, what happens over here is this becomes the interest and this becomes the principal. Now we have got in the sum that a relationship between the principal and the simple interest. Okay, there is a difference given. So let's find how much is the difference here. The difference is 8 minus 3, which is 5. So if the difference is 5, now we are asked for the simple interest. So the simple interest here is 3. If the difference is 3,500, how much is the interest? See how simple it has become? And your answer is 2,100. Just have a look at what we have done here. What I have done here is this 12.5% I have converted into a ratio. So now you know how percentages and ratio are related. So from here, this is for 1 year. So for 3 years, I'll get it as 3 upon 8. Get the difference and then correlate and get your answer for the simple interest. Nisha borrowed some money at 6% per annum for the first 3 years, 9% per annum for the next 5 years, and 13% for a period beyond 8 years. The total interest paid after 11 years. Now you see in the sum, we are given something about 11 years, which is going to be important. So let's take the first 3 years. So for 3 years, the interest would be percentages 18. I'm not writing, okay, we'll put it as 18%. Then for the next 5 years, it's going to be 9 5s are 45, and beyond this. Now beyond 8 years, so we need 11. So 11 minus 8, so you would be left with another 3 years. For the next 3 years, it is going to be at 13%. Okay, so now this comes out to be 102%. Okay, now we have got the total interest. So if the principal is 100, the interest would be 102. Find the amount borrowed by Nisha. So now we have the interest here. If the interest is 102, the principal is 100. Now you are given the interest in the sum. How much is the principal? Very simple. This will directly go 8 times and your answer is 8,000, which is nothing but the C option. So here you were given 3 rates of interest, but for breakup of the periods, total period amounting to 11 years. At what simple interest rate of interest will a sum double itself in 4 years? Okay, so now let's see what we can do here. You can take the principal as maybe P 100, whatever. So let's take the principal as say 100. You can let it remain as P also. Now the sum doubles itself. That means the amount will become 200. So obviously from here, the simple interest is rupees 100. Okay, and this we have got by amount minus principal. Now what you need to find is the rate of interest. So we can use a formula directly here. The rate is SI into 100 upon P into T. Now SI is 100. Principal is also 100 and time period is 4 years. So in 25% per annum, this amount will double itself in 4 years. For my convenience, I have taken the principal as 100. Even if you had not taken 100 and let it remain as P, you would have got the same answer. Okay, so our correct option here is the C option. A sum amounts to 108 in 2 years and 112 in 3 years. So now you have got two different periods, 2 years and 3 years. Okay, find the principal and rate of interest. So let's see, it amounts to 112, this is in 3 years, and it amounts to 108 in 2 years. So how much will be the interest for 1 year? Okay, from this two amounts, I have got the difference. So for 1 year, the interest is going to be 4. Okay, that is 4 rupees. We need to find the principal and the rate of interest. So we know the amount for 2 years, that is 108. How much would be the simple interest for 2 years? We know for 1 year. So for 2 years, it's going to be 8 rupees. So we have the amount here. We have the simple interest for 2 years. So the principal will be amount minus the interest. So in this case, rupees 100. Since I know the simple interest, I know the principal, definitely I can find the rate by using the formula. So I'll take it for 2 years. Simple interest for 2 years was 8. Principal we know is 100 and time period is 2. So we get the rate as 4% and our correct option is option D. A certain sum of money at simple interest amounts to 26 upon 25 times itself in 2 years. Find the rate of interest. Okay. Again, we can take the principal either as 100 or we can let it remain as P. So let's take the sum with P. Let P be the principal. So the amount will be 26 upon 25 times the principal means into P. And the number of years, the time period is given as 2. Okay. So once we know the principal and we know the amount, we can find the simple interest. So simple interest is A minus P. In other words, it's going to be 26P upon 25 minus P, which comes out to be P upon 25. Okay. Use your formula. R is SI into 100 upon P into T. So SI is P upon 25 into 100. Principal is P and number of years is 2. This goes. So the answer is at 2% per annum. And the correct option is the A option. Okay. Now here I have taken P. If you want, you can take it as 100. That will make it simpler also. It's one and the same. Okay. Now, this is an important type of a sum. And I have worked out the first one to show you that you can use a very simple formula here. There is a long method, very long. Why should you do it? A sum of money becomes 4 times in 20 years. So now see what we have. We have times and we have years. Calculate the rate of interest. Now this is very simple. It's a shortcut method. The rate of interest, R, is nothing but use this formula. So how many times do I have? 4 times minus 1 and number of years is 20. So when I calculate, I get this as 15%. Okay. Now let's see a similar sum here. A sum of money becomes 5 times in 5 years at simple interest. In how many years will it become 9 times at the same rate of interest? So now what we have, it is like the previous sum. But we are not going to find the rate of interest like we did in the first case. We'll directly equate it. So I'll just put it as T1 minus 1. Now why T1? Because I've got 2 times here upon N1. Okay. Now the first time that is given is 5 minus 1. So that is going to be 4. Number of years is 5. Second 9 times. So that is 9 minus 1. And we need to find the number of years. So you can see here 4 ones are, 4 twos are, and N2 would be 10 years. Understood? Why have I not found the rate here? Because there is no need. The rate again would be used for the second part. The first part, if you're just asked for the rate, then you can do it by the first method, which formula I have given you. But here, since we have got twice, that is 5 times and 9 times, One number of years given as 5 years, and we need to find the second number of years. Straight away just equate it and get your answer. All right. A certain sum of money at simple interest doubles itself in 7 years. In how many years will it become fourfold? Now this is like the previous sum. We can use the formula directly here. T1 minus 1 upon N1 is equal to T2 minus 1 upon N2. So doubles itself in 7 years. Okay. In how many years will it become fourfold? Fourfold means 4 times. Okay. Now when it doubles means it becomes twice. So I'll get 2 minus 1 upon number of years is 7. Fourfold is 4 times. And I need to find N2. Very simple. N2 would be 7 into 3 and this is 21 years. See what a shortcut method this is. We are using this formula directly. Now this is a very important formula. I have done earlier before this two sums. Now one more sum. Simply using the formula, you can avoid your calculations. In fact, you can do it mentally. You need not even use a pen to do these calculations. Our correct option here is the A one. From a sum of money, 1/3 is invested at 3%, 1/6 at 6%, and the rest at 8% simple interest for a period of 2 years. Now, if the interest is 600, find the sum. So we have 3 fractions here, 1/3, 1/6, and the rest. We need to calculate the rest also. All this is invested for 2 years. So let's assume some value for principal. Now you need to take something which will be common to 1/3, 1/6 and whatever. So let us take, say, LCM of this. So principal, let the principal be rupees 300. Now I'm taking this not 100 because 100 would involve a lot of fractions. We'll take something which is common to 3 and 6. So 1/3 of this. So how much is 1/3? That is 100 is invested at 3%. Now 3% of this would be 3 rupees, but this is invested for 2 years. So that's 6%. Okay. That is 6 rupees here. The next 1/6 of 300. That is 50 rupees. This is invested at 6%. So we'll need to calculate this 6% of 50 and this is invested for another 2 years. So this goes, so this would also be 6 rupees. Now the rest. So how much is the rest? So let's find out how much is the rest of the fraction. Okay. 1 minus 1/3 plus 1/6. Now why I'm taking that? Because these are already invested. So 1 minus, this would become, take the LCM. So how much is left is half. So half of 300. That is 150 rupees. 150 is at 8% simple interest. So 8% of 150 and this is for 2 years. Okay, so now we have got all the three interest. That is, in the first case we have got a 6, second case we have got a 6, and the third case we have got 24. So this total interest comes out to be 36 rupees. Okay. Now mind you, this 36 is on a principal of 300, and you are given that the interest is 600. So let's see. If the interest collected is 36 rupees, the principal was 300. So if the interest is 600, B option is the correct one. A sum of money invested at 16.29% per annum simple interest gives rupee 1 as interest per day. Find the sum. Now an interesting thing here. Rupee 1 as interest per day. So the first thing we know is that the simple interest for 1 year is going to be 365 because there are 365 days in a year. The next thing we know, the rate is given as 16 to upon 9%, which I can convert and make it as 146 upon 9. 100. Now I'm going to use my ratio method. What is the ratio method? We know that. If the simple interest is 146, principal is 900, and this I'm getting from here. So if the simple interest is 365, how much is the principal? Now if you look at figures like these, 146, 365, they are all multiples of 73, which happens to be a prime number. So this will go twice, this will go 5 times. And your correct answer would be 2250. Okay. This was a little bit of a different sum because we have got per day again 16 2 upon 9 as a fraction, and you'll see that these numbers are multiples of 73, which happens to be a prime number. So in your sums, if you see 365, 146, immediately you know that they can be cancelled with 73. All right. Two equal sums were lent at 12% per annum simple interest for a period of 4 years and 5 years, respectively. If the difference in the interest paid by them was 480, find the total sum lent. Okay, so let's take 12% first. So 12% for how many years? 4 years. So this would give you 48%. And the next one, 12% at for 5 years. So now we don't need to add this. What we need to do is find the difference. Now why the difference? Because in a sum we are given that the difference in the interest was 480. So how much is the difference here? The 12%. Now simple, If the difference is 12%, the principal is 100. If the difference is 12, the principal is 100. If the difference is 480, how much is the principal? Okay. Now, be very careful. In your option, you have D as an answer. But read your sum carefully, very carefully. Find the total sum length. Now, this 100 what you have is lent only to one person. This amounts twice or two equal sums. So, your correct option in this case would be 8,000 and not 4,000. All right. So be careful with this. Read your sum very, very carefully. Now, a similar sum, but slightly different again. Two equal sums were lent at 6% and 8%. Now they are two different for a period of 4 years, but the number of years are the same. In the previous sum, we had the rate same, but two different periods. Now, again, the difference here is if the total interest paid, and again, we need to find the total sum left. So, read your sums very carefully. First is a 6% for a period of 4 years. So, 6 into 4. Next is an 8%, but the number of years is the same. If the total interest paid, so how much is our total here? 56%. Okay, now the sum is very simple. If the interest is 56, now I'm directly taking total sum. Now how much will be my total sum? This is going to be for two different people. So it's going to be 100 here and another 100 here. So directly I am going to put here total sum is 200. I am given the total interest paid as 11,200. So how much is the total sum? Have a look at this 56. It is directly 112 is a multiple. Okay. Now, again, you had 20,000 also as an option. But find the total sum. So, your correct answer is the A option. Okay. Two similar sums I have taken, but again, different. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share. Today's video, I had taken a few higher level sums, little tricky, but I've shown you very easy methods of how to solve these problems. Share this video with all your friends so that they benefit, and the more people like my video and subscribe, I get the motivation and I get the encouragement to put up more videos for your benefit. Okay, bye.